Hello, Tom Lebecki here with the latest edition of the Armchair MBA. So first, I want to do a quick shout out. We talked a little bit about Little Pig the other day. Bryson got an update. Things are still, unfortunately, status quo. And the truth of the matter is, we're praying for him. I'm going to ask everyone to pray, send positive energy. Little Pig is a 2-year-old boy in Houston, Texas. He's currently in the ICU. And I just want to continue to send prayers and thoughts and positive energy for their family. There's a birthday to celebrate. Brandon, which I understand that's his father. And a happy birthday. I know it's probably not the pleasant of birthdays this year, but nevertheless, on behalf of the Four Horsemen, myself, my family, we pray for you and your son on this day. And unfortunately, as many of us, I am no stranger to loss, but you will not be known to loss because Bryson, I feel, is going to pull through. And again, prayers, positive energy to you, your son, Erica, and your family. So I just want to start off with that. And again, not to, and happy birthday. So, anyway, so I wanted to get that out. I wanted to share it. Bryson's grandmother was a big fan of the old show, a big friend of the old show, stuck with the Armchair MBA, has been a big supporter of Armchair MBA. She's a behind the scenes person, so she doesn't, comment a lot. She's private. She sends me emails. She sends me some great information, and she's just a great person. So I just want you guys to know that I just wanted to spend a minute. So just a quick housekeeping. It looks like we're going to be 3 out of the 4 horsemen. It's going to be a little shorter than we normally do. It's not going to be a 2.5-hour rant. Joe's happy about that. Just a quick update. Road to 10,000 subs is going well. I picked up like another 80 subs in the last day and a half. So we need roughly in the ballpark of about 1,800 more. 4th place gets you some books, my best-selling book, twice over on Amazon, 10 Armchair MBA shirts, or the 4 Horsemen. Here's the logo. We'll have you decide. Right, clear to 3 Horsemen. 2nd place, get a $250 Amazon gift card, and drumroll please. 1st place will be a grand prize of $500 Amazon gift card, a guest appearance on the show, and that's sponsored by JSV Capital, Loans Without the Broken Bones. All right, so all I ask is subscribe below. 40% of the viewers are still unsubscribed, so I ask you to subscribe. You can, if you don't want me to know you're subscribed, you can block that very easily. And I'm going to ask everybody on this list, all 36 people, please share with 1 to 3 friends that may be of interest, and we'll let the show begin. So we're definitely going to this is going to be an interesting one. So hello, Carol, cousin, Lefty, Carlos, the Wrench. How are you, buddy? Yankees for life. A whole bunch of people. Lexi, some newer faces, Carol, and of course, Baith is on with me, and Brooklyn, the Vinnie guy. How's the winner going to be picked? Once this channel gets to 10,000, there'll be an entrance form. You can put your first name, last name, or pseudonym. You don't have to put your name or pseudonym, and then your email. I'm going to need an email of some sort to send the gift card to, and I'm going to need a mailing address to send the physical merch or book. Again, if you don't want to share your personal address, it could be a local UPS store, it could be a PO box, it could be whatever you decide it to be. You don't have to disclose, but your nickname will be mentioned as winner. And again, you will decide what gets put on the form. And again, the digital stuff will be emailed. The physical stuff will be physically mailed. And we have some other prizes we're going to add into the mix. So just please like, share, subscribe, and share it with your people. To be honest, if literally 50 people shared it with 3 other people, and one of those 3 other people shared it, we would get there in a week. So that's all I'm asking, to check it out, because 10,000 is a big milestone. will give me and us more resources to do more for you on this channel. So, Vinny, how you doing today?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good. Giuseppe, how are you, son?
Good, thank you. Yep.
So I
Okay.
want to take a second to talk. I'll give your mother-in-law's address. You must hate her if she gets an armchair or a book. Thanks, Jojo. Hey, cousin. So with that being said, thanks, Carlos. With that being said, there's a lot going on this week, a lot in the Mobosphere. As you guys know, we did a few shows since we moved on. We wish everybody well. I did get some feedback that I got sent to me, and I want to talk about this a little bit. And Joe, I need you to lay into me and VG for a minute. Vinny, I think, is a little bit more amiable than I am, but I think I also suffer from it too. I like for people to get along. I think I can be a peacemaker. Vinny, I believe, likes for people to get along. He's not like he needs to be as a fighter, but I think we both suffer from a bigger and larger degree of trying to make everybody happy. And I think in this case, we both got burnt. Joe, be brutal. We have thick skin. Go ahead.
As far as what? My whole thing is who. That's the whole thing. I didn't hear anything. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Keep it pushing. We're not going to get bogged down with BS because that's exactly what it is. Now, maybe if we were in the fight game, I'd say, okay, we got a problem on our hands, but we're in the talking game. So.
And now that's a fair assessment. Now, what I do want to talk about today, second acts. That's kind of the theme for today. And, I get a lot of stuff for some of the stuff that I did on YouTube, some of the people that I quote unquote associate with. And listen, I'm Catholic. I'm not overly religious, but I'm Catholic. But a core Christian belief, again, is not where you begin, it's where you end. I'm a big believer in that. I don't know where people land. But Vinny, no matter what you did, do you get a second act in life? What do you think?
Well, because I've gotten 8 acts in life. Yeah. I think, well, now I have to tell you, it depends what you do. There are hangable offenses. I don't mean to be politically incorrect here with that statement, but I think that it depends what you do and it depends who you're dealing with. You have to remember there are a lot of people in life that will forgive you in your circle, right? I got out. I didn't do any time. But there were people that they were cold to me because, like you said, I was always an amiable guy. So, there's no reason to be mean to me. But if you don't agree what I did, which the normal human being wouldn't, they were, hey, how you doing? But I noticed less invitations to places and stuff. I did get invited once in a while, I think because the people I dealt with were nice enough to not want to insult me. But I think they kept me at arm's length where I was breaking bread more. But no, listen, a couple of things that went on. I think it's up to the discretion of the person that wants to forgive. And it's kind of hard to not. You sit on the middle of the fence, the wind is going to blow you off either way. If you're on one side or another, you're not getting blown over. And
let me ask you, what happened that people may have kind of distanced themselves? Was you getting arrested or
the
was
arrest?
it
Yeah, the arrest. Yeah, because I don't bother anybody. It was the arrest. It was in the paper, and people saw it. And it gets one person, like you said, one person hears it where I was in Middle Village. Everybody hears it, and it's embarrassing for my son. Thankfully, because the people are cool, no one said to my son, your son, your dad. Now, maybe if he was 8, it would have happened. He was 15, 16. But you know what? It is what it is. And I think that people do deserve chances, depending what they do. There's a disgusting rapist deserve a second chance? No. Maybe a second chance to get out eventually, but I think he should be ostracized where he's a man alone on an island. But other things, there's always been something in our lives, maybe not as detrimental to society's norms, but it's up to the individual to forgive it or forget. But I've gotten a lot harder. The thing is, a lot of people who come on and want to split alliances, unfortunately for them, we're stronger than ever. Made new friends this weekend, and we really survived. So I think our personalities of being good guys. We took a hit because we didn't know what was going on. But you know what? We're stronger for it. Our friendships are stronger for it.
What hit did we take?
Just some trolls.
If you know me, here's the hit I took.
Trolls,
the hit I took is I wake up every day to Tom, okay, like today.
Me too. And I wake up to you
on the show. Nothing has changed in my life. Not one thing.
No,
So
I mean,
hold on, and this is important. I want to talk about second acts. Vinny, I love you. You're my guy. I don't want to go back there. I want to graduate.
no,
from you.
okay. Yeah, I believe that people
what
deserve.
what I'm trying to get at is second acts is none of us have been perfect. We're in a
Right,
universe that has been perfect, right?
right.
So the question is, if you firmly believe in giving people a second chance for their second act, right?
Most people, not
Yeah,
not.
most people, correct. So my
Yeah.
question to you, Vinny, is, and I, if I met you, 8 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever that was, I would have a feeling, not that you're a knockaround guy, but I would have a feeling you were around some people. The Queen slips in once in a while, the Brooklyn slips in, like if you got pinched on like a white collar pinch, I wouldn't be so shocked. Were people surprised that you got arrested?
A lot of people, yeah.
Were you
Because-
like okay? Were you living a double
Yeah.
Give me people in your universe. Who were you to those people in that universe? Right to
Yeah.
most people.
Well, I was married when I got hit, and
Sorry to hear
her.
that.
Thank you, and her family very strict. They knew I was a black sheep. They knew I didn't act like them. They knew I'd go to the racetrack and stuff. But going to the racetrack doesn't
Was
mean
your
you're
wife's
gonna get.
family Italian?
Yeah, they were, and
They didn't know you were, a little.
they knew I wasn't like them.
Okay.
The thing is with them, if you didn't act like them, you were wrong, not different. But I got past that because they thought I was an okay guy. But
Vinny, you're making me nervous. You're married 35 years. I always thought it gets better.
not 35 years.
That shine box is 35 years.
Yeah. And just think of dog years with that number. But I think that, no, I think a lot of people were surprised. A lot of people would say, the Monday morning quarterbacks, oh, I could see him doing that now that I look further into him. You know what I mean? But no, I tried to be respectful to people out in the street. So a lot of people would say, like, wow, him? Now, the people that I dealt with in that area, in that genre, they were surprised because they didn't think at that point I was doing anything all that bad. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think a lot of people were surprised. I was living a double life, definitely. A lot of wise guys walk around. Everyone knows they're a wise guy.
But that's my point.
No one knew that I was involved.
So you got tripped up in a white collar crime, essentially, right?
I think it was, yeah.
And you had the perp walk and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It was federal, correct?
No, it was state.
Okay, state. So state OC or just state?
State OC. Yeah.
Okay. You need to kind of have to get on that radar because a lot of guys and gals now sometimes that they can go after. So were you big enough to be on the radar screens? You get lucky. I'm just kind of wondering why they went after
I don't think I know. Listen, I had OC on my file, so I think that, and that's anytime you get arrested with OC, you have OC in your
you
file.
got arrested before that?
No, this one.
No, but you have OC in your file after you get arrested.
No, after I got arrested, yeah.
Correct.
So that's a problem. But you know what? I was big enough within my circle, like the guy that you don't hear about, like you've talked about. I wasn't made or anything, obviously,
Yeah.
but they knew I knew a couple of guys that were very high. I grew up with, so they saw I was friends with them. That incident I talked about, if you want me to, about that guy that I owed money to, I can tell you quickly because I know I ramble on and on. When I was moving games, I'll make this real quick. There was a bookmaker that I used to move into. This guy made $200,000 with me, and then when the office got busted, this was before I got busted. There was an office that got busted when I was moving around 2001 or so. This guy got beat for 18,000. I felt, listen, you made 200. You're in this with. I didn't give your name up. You didn't go. You were a big player, so that should be good enough. Everyone has to assume a little responsibility. He hooks up with a wise guy a few years later, and the wise guy who wants to earn money and is hungry. Oh, who owes you money? This guy probably said it. My name came out. So I get called down. I said, I'm not going down anywhere. I don't have to report. I'm not a made guy. Well, so I found out who the guy was. I go to my guy in Brooklyn who had just gotten out, who is high, and he says, fuck this, you don't owe anything. I go down to Belmonte's in the parking lot with him. This guy comes down with the guy that says I owe money, the guy that's now sponsoring him. They see my guy in the car. The bookmaker walks over because he saw it was me, and my guy says, "Get away, way over your pay grade. Go get the guy that you brought down." He comes over, goes, "Oh my God, how you doing?" He goes, "He's not with me. He's family." He goes, "So tell this guy to go fuck himself." And the guy was a civilian, and he had a reputation of robbing people back in the day in Greenpoint. No one ever bothered, but oh, he writes tickets, and that was it. It was squashed. Once that happened, that gets around. Like people would ask this guy, "Oh, what happened? Did you get the money from him?" No. And oh, really? So that got around that. Well, he is mobbed up, even though I really technically wasn't. But I had a dear friend.
So hold on. So, but I wanna get more outside outside the mob world in terms of the regular world, right? Where did you get? Where they did a perp walk? Was it at your store? Was it
My
at your
social
house?
club. I wasn't. No, I was let out of my house, and at 6 o'clock in the morning, a sweep with about 8 of us who were involved in that club. A couple that weren't there for 2 years, because it started 2 years before I got in. There was an investigation ongoing, and I didn't know. So a bunch of people that have been kicked out of there since. The cousin that got thrown out, and that's why I took over. They were all there. We all got busted.
But why
And
do you think? Why do you think? Can you? I mean, because probably if it's in the paper, what type of number were you guys doing per week or per year? Whatever's public.
well, they said the public number was $1 million a year.
Okay.
Okay, that was the
Okay, hold on.
walk-in
The
club.
proceeds or gambling?
I
Like
guess
total gambling or proceeds?
proceeds. No, not. I don't think they meant what we were making. Just $1 million worth of action a year. But you
Isn't
gotta
that?
remember,
I don't mean I'm not.
it's small.
That's small.
Very but in the islands, which they couldn't prove, I had 200 customers. I was bringing in for myself 10,000 a week. That those guys had nothing to do with because this was my deal.
So you had 10K a week coming in
For me.
From there,
Average
and then you had the office.
Right.
I'm assuming like
2,000 a week in the office. That's about it for me.
so. I was one of the logistics and the business aspect, right? How did you get your money? Because you can't send you what the ACH. How do you get your money?
I had
Because,
agents. I had agents out in the street, like 5 to 7 at one time. Where
no,
they
I
would
know on the street, but what about from the other side, Costa Rica, and how do they get
Yeah,
the
I
money?
had agents here because what happened is I put them into Costa Rica. I had a bookmaking place there, which I was partners with the old guy, not the old guy in Vegas, the guy that I was partners with that I had the apartment with, we moved games. He ran to Costa Rica with everyone around 2000 when there were busts coming down. So he still had the bookmaking business. So I was partners in that. So we had agents here on the street, which we always did. And they would come to me. They'd report to me. We'd get the sheet. It was, we'd get a sheet a mile long on a Sunday night at 2 in the morning. Now, okay, and the agents had their players. Like if you had 20 players into me, you know what your
No,
players did.
I'm 3 years old. How did you get to 10K? Like 5 guys showed up with 2K each. Was it
Yeah, whatever.
ACH?
Yeah, whatever. And then I'd have to send money to my partner in
Now,
Costa Rica.
did you try to wash it, or you did not claim any of it, and you were
No, I didn't. Obviously, I didn't claim any of it. Wash it. I'd go to Vegas, and I knew a casino host where I'd buy in for 10,000, and
$5 and go back? Yeah,
I'd bring chips home. I'd
That's
bring
cool.
10,000 worth of chips home, purple chips, and then go back.
Mhm.
A couple of weeks later, cash in those chips.
Yeah,
Now
but
they'll
that's not. So what's interesting enough is $1 million a year. Respectfully, is not a large operation, right?
it's
But
nothing.
to wash $500,000 cash a year is a lot. How much of a run did you have that you were making that kind of money?
10,000 a week. It varied. I bet you over the 7 year period before I got into the social club, which was 2009. I got pinched in 11. I was probably averaging about 6,000 a week cash for
No,
myself.
but how long of a run did you have? 1 year,
10
3 years?
years
10 years.
from
Okay.
around 95 to 97, and then it started up again in 97.
Now, when
Small.
you got pinched, you had to pay what, 80K back,
I had 80,000 in the house.
and they took that part.
They took that, and the deal was my son was having some issues at the time, and I was bugged for 3 months. They heard all that. They heard a conversation where my partner went nuts on this guy that came lame, and I said, "Give me the phone. You're going crazy." I said, "Listen, just have a nice Christmas. I'll take him off your back." They saw that I wasn't hurting anybody.
You know what? You actually got the nice guy routine paid off.
It did. So what happened was they said, the DA said, this guy's a criminal within the four walls. The other guy runs around like he has a license. That's exactly what they followed me to a karaoke bar. Two bartenders said, no, he leaves 20 on the bar.
I have to ask you this, and you're welcome to decline.
I wasn't bothering anybody.
But I'm running numbers on how much you made over the 10 years. It looks like you gave a substantial
$2 million.
Yeah, so you gave a lot less back.
Oh yeah.
Than you kept.
Yeah.
So basically, dinner's on you next week.
Dinner's on me any week. And my house doesn't look like yours.
Yeah, that's why dinner's on you every week. Not him.
Joe, when he sleeps, here's the ceiling, here's his nose.
No, but if honestly, I have hardly any of that left, and you don't know where it goes. Well, I was gambling myself too. You got to remember. And
what's the legal bill? Because Mr. Carrozzo is not cheap.
50.
That's actually not bad.
No, it was 10,000. It was 12,000. You walk in for the arraignment and the first shot, and then like that 1,500 a shot. I
gotta be honest. I think he might have gave you the wise guy deal because my divorce was cheaper.
No, I got the wise guy deal. Well, I got fined also, but I got the wise guy deal because I was involved with them.
You got meeting with a lawyer because that 50 is low for a federal.
Yeah.
Oh no, a state OC case. You're looking at like north of $150.
100, 150. But yeah, I got lucky. Mine went on from I got pinched in February. I pled out, I believe, in September.
What was your day job at the time when you're doing all this, making a 6 to 10K a week?
I wasn't a stockbroker. Oh well, I was a stockbroker at that point. But when I had the club, no, I was this. I told you in 2003 I became disabled with the stroke.
What does your tax return look like in your best year? You made $500,000 for real cash. What did you put on the books in your tax return that year?
Oh, when I was not working?
Your best year that you made $500,000, right?
Well, 400. What real work, 400. And
so hold on, I'm 3 years old. The best year illegally.
Legally, you said?
Yeah, illegally.
Oh, my best year, probably cash. It's 600, 500, okay. Something
600. Like that. Did you have any other legal income that year?
No.
Okay. If we go back to your tax returns for that year, what did you claim?
Wife's $150. That's it.
So you were like you didn't even buy a nail salon. You didn't buy a pizzeria.
I didn't do anything.
You were basically Al Capone.
An idiot. I was an idiot. But you know what? You buy some things, you look a lot bigger than you are.
No, but there's ways to do it. What you do is
I could have
not to give criminals any.
No, I agree.
You buy the 25% of the nail salon. You borrow the 75%, right?
Yeah, I didn't do
and then what you do is you get a loan for that, and then you slowly pay it back based off of earnings. But
I didn't do any of that. No, I had a good run. Listen, I deserved what I got. I was breaking the law. I deserved it. A lot of people say, well, I paid for a million things I didn't get caught for. Well, if you call gambling getting caught, yeah, but that's all I was ever involved in. Can I tell you something? My word to God, I never charged anybody vig. Probably got beat out of 60, 70,000. I never charged anybody vig. If I was going to give you money, I treated it like a friend, you know?
So what's your take, Joe? Vinny's still a smart guy to me. He was smart enough to earn it. He could have washed it a little better. That's another discussion. What was your take on how he handled it, Joe?
I think you handle it the best way you can. I mean, right. It's when you're in the middle of that doing that. I mean, how do you handle it? You try to do the best you can with the amount of damage. The only question I have is the social club you had.
Yeah.
Was that like disguised as a car service or like what was it? And did that hurt you?
It was a walk-in club.
And you don't think that drew like the wrong attention to you guys?
It had been there for years. See, that club had been there for 25 years because I used to gamble in that club. So, been there for years. Oh, and as for someone gave a comment about the IRS, that's all taken care of. I could talk about it freely. That's all taken care of.
Well,
I did pay money to the IRS.
That's why. So I always get worried about the alphabet soup, right? FBI, ATF, but all of them. What scares me the most, believe it or not, is the IRS.
I gave them money.
No, I know, but I'm saying like one time I messed up on a tax return. One of the companies that I was with changed legal entities, had a separate whatever. I didn't file it. I owed them like $2,000.
Mhm.
The 2,500. I sent to 2,501 penny on purpose because I don't want to owe them anything. They sent the penny back. So
Really?
yeah, they said they actually got a check for a penny from the IRS. I had it actually like framed at one point. But my point being is in terms of the FBI thing is all right. Yeah, no, I get it. Like,
Mine wasn't FBI. You got to remember, mine wasn't FBI. They never had me in loan sharking. The reason why I gave the IRS back money back then with Costa Rica, they were trying to get you for interstate gambling. If you remember when they passed the rule, I gave about 250K to the IRS. That was the deal. That was the deal.
Got it.
And that's what killed me because I didn't have that much left of all the money I had made. I had 3 cars leased, I had all this shit. But the wife always made a really good income.
Now, what happens after? So you get cuffed, you lose all your income. Did you get back into the game, or did you switch to do something else?
Never. The only thing I did was some people, they got the envelopes of maybe 8,000 what I owed out to players that won. And you'd be surprised. They come as soon as you get out. Am I getting my money? And God bless my partner who went away. He was there calling me. These guys got to get paid.
I have a dumb question. If you owe money or owed money, and you get pinched, what happens?
Depends who you owe it to. These were players that walked in the club. They were owed about 8,000. You know what? We paid them when we got out, and I didn't have any money.
So you owed somebody money. Your feet hit the street. And they're like, "Where's my money?" Not worried about you surviving.
Could give a shit, and that's why I mean what I mean by it. It's a jerk off thing. And I had no money. I had my bank accounts frozen at that time, which were legal. I got them out, safe deposit box, which I didn't keep any money in. And what happened was I went on the street and borrowed my part. What was 4 and 4? We owed 8,000. My partner owes 4 of it. And I owe 4. They're walking people.
But I bet you the guys that owed you money, you got out and like, well, I don't know. I thought you were away.
Some of them. But we paid that week the 8,000. I went to the street because I had no money, and I took 5,000.
So then, what happened? Did you what did you do? I know you might make some money. You're making great money. You probably accustomed to a better standard of living in terms of financial needs being met.
Absolutely.
Did you have a slush fund? What happened the day after you were free and clear of your charge?
Day after, I had no money. And the interesting thing, there was a guy that kept on talking about the club, and all of a sudden on a Friday, he wants all his money back. I don't want to be involved in this anymore. After being hot to do it. He was a gambler who my friend took a liking to. Monday morning, we get busted. After this guy wants out. This guy, when my wife had gone down to bail me out, it was a bail hearing. 5,000 or less, you could just come up with the bond. My bail hearing, you had to prove where you got the money. You had to go to the bank account. My wife couldn't do it because the bank accounts were frozen. So she had to wait about 4 or 5 days. He went down with my wife at the time to bail me out. And they would not, he got declined as the person to bail me out. So then we think maybe he ratted.
Oh, shit.
Why would he get declined?
Wait. So if I have the resources to bail you out, the state or federal can say, Tom's no good, he can't bail you out?
Yeah, because they had him on the phone. They had him at the club. They just didn't arrest him. I don't know why they didn't arrest him to this day. I don't think he ratted, but I don't know why. So when he went there, his name, you can't bail him out.
Wait, he did 0 jail time?
Nothing. No.
How so?
I don't know. Now, they knew all our ranks who did everything.
Joe just texted me, where's Vinnie's paperwork?
Go find it. I guarantee you something you won't find, unfortunately, a 302.
Got it. All joking aside, we don't mess with it. So,
No,
all
I
right,
don't.
so you get out. You're
Yeah.
out.
Get out.
You pay Carazzo. You pay everybody off. You're broke as a joke. Your wife's working. Then what do you do for money?
Nothing. Just scrambling. Had enough to pay the bills because of her income, but it was just it was rough because I'm dealing with my son to this day has PTSD. If someone comes early to the house, and he was in the room sleeping. And I tell you, it's not that I never liked cops. I never had to deal with them. When the guy comes in, he starts looking through everything. They come in. I hear them say, "We got Bracco." That's how I knew it was organized, where everyone was getting pinched at the same time. It was about 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm shocked. I'm half asleep, and what happened was he knew my son was having problems because of the phone calls, and he said, "I'm going to look in your eyes. I'm a father. Do you have anything to hide in your son's room?" I said, "No." He said, "Close the door. Let him sleep." That was a cool thing. He could have broke
But
balls,
hold
but
on
that's
now,
because he
hold
felt
on.
I was an
Hold
okay
on
guy.
now.
Let me ask him just one question real quick. Did you have trouble collecting money after you got arrested?
Good question.
And were you like fearful
Well,
that
no one really owed us money. We
okay.
owed out the players from the club. Thank God it was like a wash in the islands for me. Well, I think I lost about 20,000, but that was fine because you can maneuver money. You always have people that owe you money coming in. There's always 20,000 left over where you're maneuvering because you have to keep money here. You know, the guy can't keep on sending me money from Vegas every time someone wins, so he'll let me hold 40 or 50. But my friend had that, my partner in Costa Rica, and he would just wire it to me. So I was lucky on that end. Yeah, it would have been a shit show if I owed big bookmakers 100,000 for moving games. I didn't have it. Now listen, they know you get arrested legit. They'll hold off a little. You know, you're not just saying I don't have it. They saw I got arrested. They saw. You know, any lawyer could find out. No, because they give you a receipt for the money they took out of the house. They knew exactly. Anyone's lawyer saw the cash they took out of my house. I'm not bullshitting because you get a receipt for that. What they take, they have to.
I'm
By law,
surprised they didn't hit you harder, like wire fraud, mail fraud, interstate commerce,
I
like
was very lucky, and I
going out
really,
of the country.
well, I didn't go out of the country, but
No, you're dealing with Costa Rica though.
yeah, but you got to remember the agents are. My voice is never on Costa Rica. It's the agents calling in for balances for guys, and guys calling in for their bets. I'm never on the phone with Costa Rica.
Right.
It's not me.
But hold on. Okay, so few things. Number one, the 6 o'clock bust. That's typically for high value targets. It's supposed to surprise you. There's a media element. You're my guy. I love you, but you weren't the biggest fish.
No, not at all.
Why did they come at 9 a.m., let you have your bagel, change, and like why do you think they did it at 6 a.m.?
Well, I always thought because they came into the club a week before and I wasn't there. And the thing they were concerned about, I told the story. I told my partner about we had to get in at 9:30 with the racing forms because everybody was always in there. I had to open up because people would come in that won that night before with a cash bet. I had to pay them. I had the envelope stapled, and because I did all that. And what happened was I was sick one morning. I said, I went there the night before actually to staple everybody's money. I said, told my guy, just pay them when they come in. It's in a box in the back. So all of a sudden, I had a bad feeling. I don't know what it was. I had heard on the street that people were getting pinched. I called him. I said, I'm coming in. He said, I thought you were sick. I said, I forgot something there. I took all the money out of the kitchen. And when they came in and busted me, my front drawer, I had a bunch of PBA cards. All they wanted to know, they thought I got tipped off by a cop.
Wow.
They walked in 20 minutes after I walked in. They busted up the Joker
Did
poker machines.
Did you have any cops on the payroll and or friendly at the time?
Not at all. We knew a couple of retired cops.
Why didn't you?
Because I really wasn't a gangster.
Got it. What about, you mentioned the phone, like not even gangster 101, like just illegal activity 101. Why do they have so much of you on the phone?
Cell phone. And they know, but I wasn't talking about criminal activity, and that's why they couldn't get me. I was
Oh,
taught, but
gotcha.
they knew where I was. Like all they cared about the night before, I'll never forget. It was snowing and raining, and I went to Yonkers Raceway to meet somebody, not for business, just to meet him to say hello. And coming back, I got a flat, and I called one of the partners in the place because he knew a lot of people in Greenpoint, a 24-hour tire place. I knew he knew who is that guy again. I mentioned the guy's name, which was really Italian. They kept on asking me, "Who's this guy? Who's this guy?" I said, "Nothing. I got a flat." And they heard I got a flat. They said, "No, we know you were at the toll booth, but who is he?" They thought maybe that was code or something, which there was no code. I found out later. I was on tap for 3 months. I told you one of the old time guys got sick. He went into 14th Street VA. I go with this guy who I called for the tire thing a few weeks before, and we go into a Starbucks. And there's really two cute girls, and one says, "Can you pass the sugar?" "Yeah, sure." I'm talking to her. We go to the hospital to see this guy, Dave. Those two girls are in the courtroom. There were cops following us.
Let me ask you, in terms of
Unbelievable, right?
being a target, right? Is state just as bad as federal, or what are the differences?
I don't know. I never got hit federal. I don't know.
Joe, would you know? Just more to curiosity.
What state? What?
Like if you have the state going after you versus federal, I understand the.
Well, look at the federal conviction rate. First of all, it's much higher, and you got to do a longer prison sentence.
Yeah, I
No
wasn't doing
parole.
anything
You
federal.
do 85% of your prison sentence. And
Oh,
I
no,
think
John,
if it was a federal case, I don't think you would have walked away with nothing.
good point.
I agree.
Hey, John, this is gonna be a short. We're gonna be off in a few minutes. I'm actually going to see my friends from soccer game, and I got to light up my fantasy football before 1. Say that again, Joe. So what is it? Yeah, federal conviction rates in the 90s.
No, but I'm saying if you get federal, it's like if you get federal time, you got to do your 85% of the sentence, no parole. It's like, it's tougher. And there's, I think, like I said, if it was federal, he might have got some time because they're not going to waste their time and let him get away.
But I was facing 5 years.
So, Vinny, we talk about second chances, kind of the theme of this shorter episode, which we'll get off soon. But if you had the chance, would you do it? Would you do the same all over again, or would you do it differently, or not do it at all?
I wouldn't do it at all. I wouldn't do it at all.
Why?
I wouldn't. I would still be nice to people, which I was in that. I think some of the reason, because the DA stood silent. What I was saying is, I got 5 years non-report. They offered me 18 months, and I said, "Well, you could take me now because my family's a fucking pain in the ass for obstruction." They said, "Get this fucking guy out of here." They wanted a proffer. I said, "Proffer what?" So then they said, "You could do 18 months." I said, "Don't feed me first and get me the fuck out." They threw me out of the office
Without giving names, and it's probably public record. Without giving names, the highest ranking LCN member, whether made or not, that was in the ring, what time did he get?
He was connected in another case, not our case, because the other case was bigger, and that guy was doing other stuff other than ours. So they got him for a much bigger charge. So I'll give you something. My wife at the time still works for the government. She walked during a snowstorm. I opened up the club because I had a lot of money in there. That big snowstorm of 2011, and or 10, maybe the winter 10, and they were thinking about charging her because she was a conspirator. She knew she went to the club with me. She knew what was going on.
Did they go after people that kind of are on the peripheral as a little bit of dirty pool, like meaning you'll never roll on your wife, you may accept the deal?
Well, I think the only reason they didn't go after her is they knew she had MS, and she was fine with it. She worked for the government and thought maybe they'd lose the case because now she's going to be represented, and maybe now it goes because if you're going after her, she's a government employee. Maybe they have to. I'm not really sure, but they didn't, and they said that. They said, you were a good guy. They walked in and they told her. They said, "Listen, your husband plays with bad people. Let him find new friends. Get a good mouthpiece. He's the only one that doesn't have a gumad, and that includes a 75-year-old." That's what they said.
How important is to have the right lawyer on this? Or if you get, no matter who you have, you're screwed? Or does the right lawyer make a difference?
I think I was doing time if it was a public defender.
Got it.
The only reason I didn't fight for the 80,000, my son was having a problem. I finally got him out of the house to play some hockey because it was winter. and they knew. And when the judge said, when I asked for, I started talking, and my lawyer goes like this, Jojo, and I said, um, the lawyer said, "Do you want to speak?" And he's going like this. I said, "Yeah." I said, "Your Honor," I said, I have licenses, and I'm not saying I would do this again, but this will stop my ability to work. They have heard for 2 months on there, I don't want to do this anymore. My son's staring at horses, rooting with me. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm out after the Super Bowl. But because this guy knew nothing, his club would have been a shambles. I told him, after the Super Bowl and everybody gets paid, get someone else. So he knew that. They heard that I was getting out. They knew that I was an okay guy that got caught in a bad situation. Although, you gotta remember, they didn't know about the moving of games and shit. I never got charged with that. So they never knew about
you
that
had a
stuff.
nice run putting in bets for the Kosher Connection, 62% success rate. Why did that stop? You never told us about that. Like those guys putting in the bets at 62% win rate. How and why did that stop?
A couple of guys went to Costa Rica, the bookmakers. One of them was the guy that I moved with. I always suspected he was still doing it, but I wasn't involved because he wasn't around me at that time. I didn't have an office to start calling 6 bookmakers. He did, so when I was with him, that was all set up, you remember, before I went in.
So you never took the real value is not the guys, it's the algorithm. You never had access to the algorithm or the formula?
No. No, I didn't.
If you don't mind me asking, because maybe I'm giving you too much credit. You're a smart guy. After a while, you may not know the algorithm, you may not know the program, but after a while, you probably were picking up themes. Like I noticed you said never bet on a football team in the NFL that does 3 away games. They only cover like 37% of it. There had to been like I'm just wondering because like I you're smarter than all of us. So
no, that's not true.
Like, hey, I'm getting picks like this. I'm getting picks like that. Trends. Maybe hire a statistician to reverse engineer and own the algorithms. I think that's where the real money was. Did you pick up trends? Did you get close to owning the algorithm or knowing it? You never got that far.
I knew how they did it, but I didn't have enough people to do it with me. Like on a baseball game, they waited till 6:05 till the lineups were announced. You would notice, Joe, because you're a sports guy. Every player represented. Mike Piazza was worth 33 cents. Beltran, 36 cents. They added up all the money to the lineups. So if the Mets were laying 150 and the Mets should be 160, the Mets are to play. They're not gamblers. It's all about finance and money.
It's all quants. It's called quants.
Quantitative analysis they use, and that's what it is. It's all money. They don't root for anybody, but they feel that in the long run they have the advantage. It's like me giving you $1.02 for every dollar I should be giving you. After a while, at the end of the year, I might be losing, but all that other money made up for the losses.
And but there's an expression: nobody ever gets tired of making money. Did they stop working with you, or they stopped doing that as a group together?
Well, they were never real. I was working with my partner who was working with them. It was never me. He put me into it when I met him. I told you so. I didn't know any of these people.
The irony of the quants are straight random. Let's get real. The irony that he has Wall Street in his name, just a little bit of irony there. It was in the hedge funds world. We'll know what I'm talking about. All right. So, Joe, give us your analysis of Vinnie's run.
He kept himself out of jail, so it was a good run. I mean, with minimal damage. That's the bottom line is he didn't lose major money and he didn't go to jail. So I think that's a win-win all the way around.
See, to me, it's not minimal though, because my son still has PSTD. So what is the price for PSTD? Is that $5 million? Look what I put him through. To this day, he's still, if the door rings, he's very upset. And he wasn't even there when it rang.
He could have PTSD of not having a father around for 3 years.
Exactly. It could have been worse, bro. If you had to go away for 5 years, what would have happened to him? Your family.
Yeah, but let me ask you something. Tom, you have a child. Do you want her to hurt for an hour with teething?
I know.
So you know what? Yeah, in a perfect world, if you put everything down that way, yeah, it could have been worse. But like Tom knows as a dad, and you will one day, if my son suffers for a minute, I would take all that pain. I
Do
don't
you
want
ever
my.
do you ever have that, like we talked about on the show I think yesterday, about Jason was like having that adult conversation with an adult parent? Did you have that conversation with your son where you sat down and said, "Listen,
Yes.
and then how did that help a little bit?"
Uh, um, well, he still is nervous. I think now that time has gone on, I said, Vin, Dad's not doing anything. You see me. I'm not involved with anybody, so don't worry about it. But it's always like someone that I'm not going to mention on here, but says if you're driving, you always think there could be a warrant on you from something from the when you were involved with stuff, you always think that you could get arrested for something. So you're driving, even though you're clean. I was scared to death for the first couple of years. Oh my God, I'm going to get pulled over. They got something from 4 years ago,
Yeah.
And now enough time has passed where it's like, I know I don't do anything. So I do this. So it is what it is. And I tried to be good, and I tried to, even at that time, I was a nice guy. I didn't threaten people. I had enough coming in where if someone was lame for 2,000, all right. Because you got to remember, people I gave large credit limits to that I knew them. I'm not giving anybody 15,000 credit limit unless he's a doctor or something. So some guys would say, and you would notice, Joe, I can't get the money out of him. Here's 6. My wife will see it. Because these guys are legit guys, most of these guys. They have a bank account. I can get 6 out. Can I get? Yeah, of course, because I know he's not bullshitting me. Now, after 4 weeks, if he doesn't come up with it, I might shut him down. I might say, listen, for your own good, until I get it, I don't want you to get in trouble. I don't want you to get divorced. Let's just, until you pay up. And most guys are okay with that. They can understand that you're not taking their action if they owe you money. You don't have to spell that out to them. But no, I was in a bad situation, and
I think you ended up. You know what?
I caused it. I caused my own problem.
Here's what will happen too, though. In my system of maybe you protecting some of that wealth, they'll probably take away that pizzeria, that nail salon, that car wash.
Right, everything would have been taken anyway.
Maybe the fact that you were either liquid or illiquid may have come, into play. So I'm happy that you're okay. It looks like
Thank you.
You're turning your life around.
Thank you.
And now you're an all-star YouTuber.
No, he's a celebrity.
No, I'm not. I'm no celebrity. Yeah, for hackers. But the thing is, and I'll end this so you could do your thing, and I'll just listen. The guy that I got pinched with, his mother left him $250,000 insurance money in a bank account. He never touched that bank account, never made a withdrawal, never deposit. They took it from him. Really? I think he ended up getting like 50 of it back. And to this day, he is miserable and talks about it every day. I don't see him anymore, but I used to go to the gym, and I used to visit him once every 3 weeks. He was in Rikers. I used to go to the gym and see him once in a while, and I'd hear from people, "Oh, he goes on and on about that." That was his case money. That was his lockup money. He's 75 now.
Can you negotiate with it? Like, hey, we want 80K from you. Is that negotiable, or is it kind of?
Well, he did. He got back some of it because.
No, in your case, like, was 80 the net of a negotiation? Or
no, it was 80. And what happened was, so when I was talking to the judge, I said I really would like a relief from disabilities and no report probation. I said, because my son, I'm finally getting out of the house, severe depression, and I know I've heard from probation officers, he goes to Jersey, my son and stuff, and I have to drive him. My wife has MS, so she can't always take him. And you know what? The first 6 months, they don't let you do a thing, the probation officers, and it'll break his heart. I'm trying to recover from this. He gave me non-report probation if I forfeited the $80,000. I could have fought for the $80,000, which I probably wasn't going to win anyway. But it ties it up for a year and a half. Now they could just take it and do what they want with it. Yeah. So I forfeited the 80. Pretty much, I bought myself non-report probation. It was still 5 years.
Can you write that off on your taxes, the 80K?
No.
I don't think you can.
No.
Tom, you'd figure out some way to recoup some of that money.
Well, I don't even know if you can write off the legal bill if it's I would hire him to do like something for my business as well.
Well, I know what would happen. I could write that's Tom would walk into the IRS with a top Tom Lavecchia here.
I'm scared of the IRS. You want to see me shaking my boots? All right, we're gonna a few things, but before we wrap up, give us some NFL picks, Vin. You got anything on deck?
Yeah, I gave them. Yeah, I got them right here. What's today? The 7th. Yeah, he's on the Buffalo Bills. I think they're minus 14.5.
Who are they playing?
Jacksonville at Jacksonville. He's been on Buffalo like every week. I
Oh,
think he
wait a
just
second. Wait a second. They want the Buffalo giving 14 and a half.
in Jacksonville.
He still likes Buffalo.
Well, the four of us could beat Buffalo by field goal. Beat them by field goal. Jacksonville. They're terrible.
I
That
gotta be
is
honest with you. I'm gonna take Jacksonville on that bet.
okay.
You
I
have
got
it- you have it
35-10.
recorded.
I think that's 35-10 written all over it.
Have you seen any Jacksonville games this year?
Yeah, Jacksonville's
No, you haven't. There's a reason they suck.
I'm still Jacksonville. You got a home team in warm weather. They're not. I'm taking Jacksonville, and you and I will have a friendly bet on both you guys. Will have a friendly bet.
Okay.
No.
Loser picks up the next dinner.
Well,
bill.
Joe, that's the game that you worry about laying, and when it's 21-0 at the half, you say, what a trap that was. He's on the Chargers at Philadelphia, laying a 1.5. I don't like West Coast going to East Coast, honestly.
Wait, he likes Chargers.
Minus
What
1.5.
is he like? The road guys.
I guess, and Nadeau's at that game today. Nadeau's at the game today,
Oh shit.
so I'd like to break his balls at Philly.
What do you got on that? I got to be honest. You're a Chargers fan, but I'm actually gonna go Eagles.
Okay.
They're not losing
What a
out.
contrary Mary he is today. And Monday night, Pittsburgh Steelers minus 6.5 at home against Chicago. I think that he saw Pittsburgh straighten out last week. I think he thinks that, Big Ben always goes on a run, and I think,
I'm actually gonna go Chicago. I'm gonna tell you why.
oh my God.
I'm gonna tell you why. I don't know the stats and the quants. Whenever it's a national game, they play tighter, they play better. And I'm you know what? We're gonna track all three.
Okay.
You
Well,
have
the Mohawk is personal coach. When the Mohawk played for Arizona State, the Mohawk. Did you show the picture of me?
So you have the three recorded. I'm going against all three.
Okay.
Obviously, 2 out of 3 are going to win. It's simple math. And if I win, dinner on you guys. If you win, dinner next dinner's on me.
And we can't even split with a push because they all have the hook 14.5, 6.5, and 1.5. So
Okay, here's the deal. If
what's
we
your game, Joe?
we go to Tom's house, okay? We'll buy the food, you buy the soda.
Ooh, no, I can't afford it. I cannot afford it.
$7 for a 2-liter.
Vinny, Rob's calling you out. You gave some losers already. You had a bad run.
No, I didn't.
I got to tell you really quick.
Jason gave the losers, not me.
I
Those
don't
are his
touch-
plays.
I don't touch college. And you guys, we're all men. You guys do your own thing on this college stuff, right? And I got a lot of shit on my comments from your guys' show that you guys laid goose eggs this week.
Jason went 1-6 this
We
week.
can't have that. We can't.
He went
have
6-1 last week, though.
Joe, go knock on
That's
some
why
doors.
he's not. We don't see Jason. He went 1-6. He's hiding. Okay, we got it. Yeah,
My
I would
plays
be hiding too.
My plays went 1-1 yesterday. Pushed 1-1 at that guy's plays. And for those detractors, that guy is 34-16 over his last
He's
50.
going to go 0 for 3 against because he's meeting the Tom Lavecchia Terminator, a.k.a. Tommy Suitcases, a.k.a. Tommy the Hat.
Tommy the Hat. Joe, who do you like today? Give us a game. You're a sports guy. If you had to play one game, like for a pool or free dinner.
Here's
what
why
would you
I'm
do?
not going to give a game. Because if I give a game, someone listening might say, he probably knows what he's talking about. Let me put some money on that game.
That's their problem, not yours.
No.
You're not
How
telling
about
anybody.
this? I picked the Jets to lose.
Interesting.
They played
That's always-
Thursday.
that's
They
always-
lost.
Yeah, true.
I'll take.
All right, just a few things. So guys, I have I think a 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock interview. Hold on, let me just check my calendar. I'm actually becoming more organized. 1 second. I think it's at 7 o'clock. Yeah, 7 o'clock. It's with this guy is iLight Network. He's an interesting guy. He and I know I'm gonna pronounce his name incorrectly. Magelio Montagna. I don't know if it's the J silent or Maelio Montagna, and he runs a really cool YouTube called iLight Network, and does a lot of stuff on LCN. He grew up around the life. He's not going to talk about anybody current. That's kind of our deal. He's been a gentleman to me. He's also, I believe, a Freemason. I don't know how comfortable he's going to be talking about that, but he does a lot of Freemasonry stuff on his site. And we talked about a very good exchange. I'm debating whether or not I'm going to do it as a live. If I do it as recorded, I'll let you guys know, because if you guys might want to jump in at the end. If I do it live, obviously you guys will know. The only reason why I'm not I'm worried about doing it live is some of my content and some of my interviews, I like to be super focused. Now when I tried doing them live and I said, hey, I'm doing an interview, I'm not taking any questions or looking at the comments, people have been great about it. So I might continue to do that and then try to get some interaction. But yeah, so I have another interview tonight. Interesting enough is I might actually have she's a niece through marriage. What is it called? Niece through marriage. She's an IP attorney, intellectual property attorney. And I might want her to come on about how YouTube works and the copyright laws. Everybody thinks like it's so easy. You just take this, you take that, you take this, what you own, what you don't own. I might have her on as well. You're gonna see we're gonna migrate over a little bit to more business topics. I think that's where Joe will prosper. I think Joe will prosper. Because Joe's a mover and shaker, and that's what I like about him. So just stay tuned, everybody. We're going to be mixing it up. We're staying away from the ruckus. In the comments, please. I don't want to talk about a lot of the old stuff. If you want to contact me privately, Tom and New Theory, I'm always happy to having a fruitful discussion. We can disagree. That's fine. We could agree. That's even better. But in the comments below, we gravitated in a different direction. And that's where we're at. Guys, I'll let you guys do the closing.
1 second for a second. John 2320 would never leave you hanging. I just can't comment. It's his show on here. But 2320 Pats.
What's the line?
Pats. I don't even know because I didn't handicap that game, but I have the final score here.
Who are they playing?
Carolina. I like the Pats 2320.
That's probably at Carolina.
Yeah. Well, yeah, maybe. But let me see if I can see the line here. Pats, Carolina, 3.5 New England. It's on here. I like them 23-20, but I would play the Pats. I don't have no faith in Carolina. So to wrap up, what did you say now, Tom?
Just wrap it up, and then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, I enjoyed this conversation. I'm glad I could show you people that it's not worth it, because I compromised a son and a family that will always remember this. And what kind of money is that worth? Embarrassment, people that I respect that maybe have less respect for me now. And I had to go out there on Front Street, and I was a criminal. And I will always be an ex-criminal. And that hurts me. And so for any of you who think of doing anything wrong, watch this video over and over. And maybe I could help one person.
Yep, stay in school. Reading is fundamental. One other thing I want to say is thank you to all the people in the chat with the words of support, and the people who have anything bad to say. Get at Tom at New Theory. Okay, perfect. Anything bad to say, you hit him up. Thank you.
Thanks, Rob, for coming. Thank you guys for coming on before taking the time away from your guys' family. Enjoy your guys' day, and we'll see you tonight. Bye, everybody.
All right.
Bye,
Have a good one,
guys.
All right.
You too.
Talk to you later. Bye.